If you guys enjoy what I do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps the channel and it's free and easy to do. Welcome to my channel where we cover the lore of Final Fantasy XIV. We cover the stories both big and small, the epic and the cute, the silly and the tragic. I hope you all enjoy the ride, and welcome to the Chronicler of Lore. After doing a bit of thinking, Round Rocks, after realizing that the glowstone is the thing that Mide has been searching for this entire time, decides to give it to the Al Ra, and since there aren't many people who could take it from the Warrior of Light, the goblin gives it to him so he can give it to Mide. The treasure hunter is usually staring at Alexander from nearby, so it isn't hard to track her down. Mide is flattered that the goblin is willing to give away her most precious possession, and at first she wasn't gonna accept it, but she decides that it would be better in the hands of someone who could actually keep it safe. Round Rocks isn't exactly what you'd call a fighter, so Mide decides to hold on to it, even though to her, the piece of the Enigma Codex is nothing more than any other rock. When Round Rocks held it, the stone had let out a flash of light, but that hadn't happened when anyone else touched it, not even the Warrior of Light. The Codex is protected by magic that keeps it from being read by anyone who doesn't believe in what it says down to their very core. It's very rare to find a person that can actually read it, which means if the Illuminati find out that Round Rocks can, they'll take her. Mide figures that the best way to keep Round Rocks safe would be for her to lure the Illuminati away with the piece of the Codex that they want so much. They'll be hunting for her, and won't be thinking about Round Rocks, but Mide still wants you to watch out for the little goblin just in case while she's away. Backrix comes to get you, because apparently something's been bothering Wedge, so you head back to camp to see what's bothering the Lalafell. Apparently, the Illuminati are getting ready to do something big, because Y'shtola sent a message saying that Alexander's starting to draw a lot more ether from the area. Not to mention the fact that the goblins are gathering a lot of explosives and other stuff, likely to build another big weapon. In short, things are pretty bad, so you all need to attack them before they can finish, and Wedge already has a plan, one that of course has the Warrior of Light leading the assault. Biggs has already scouted out the area that he wants to attack from, so you and Wedge head there to get things started. Biggs was expecting Sid to show up, but he hadn't thought that Y'shtola would come too. Since the ether is being drained at a super high rate, she obviously needed to be there to help. From what she can see, Alexander has absorbed a whole lot of ether already, but there's a different kind of energy coming from inside of the barrier. Figuring out what this new energy is will have to wait. For now, whatever the Illuminati are doing needs to be stopped before they can get it fully started, and Wedge has built a device that should help with that. He calls it the Electro Jammer No. 3, which is weird since it's apparently the first of its kind. If it works the way that he says it will, it should disrupt all of the Illuminati's communication devices, making it a lot harder for them to organize a defense when you all attack. The device has a little more kick to it than everyone expected, and the explosion that it makes either causes Alexander to lift its other hand, or it was about to do that anyway, and Wedge's timing was just a coincidence. Either way, Wedge refuses to take the blame for the primal moving. The good news, according to Y'shtola, the primal is still asleep. Even better, it moving created a new way for you all to head inside, which means it's time for the Warrior of Light to do his thing. While he does that, Sid and Y'shtola are going to go and tell Matoya what just happened. While you all get ready to make your move, Quick Thinks All Thoughts watches from above saying that everything is playing out exactly how it was written. The Illuminati weren't all that unprepared for your attack, and apparently their experiments don't stop at modifying just machines. One of the goblins who manages to take the title of best named goblin in the game, Ratfinks Twinkledinks, has done quite a few modifications to himself that makes him very not fun to fight. But the Warrior of Light and his crew of adventurers bring down the goblin and his minions. With the attack being a success, the Warrior of Light meets back up with Biggs and Wedge at the base camp, only for them to let him know that there's another problem. While they were patrolling the area, they saw Mide talking to the Illuminati. Not only that, she gave them the piece of the Enigma Codex before going into Alexander with them. It all looks really bad, but it starts to look a lot less like Mide's actually a traitor when Quick Thing shows up to the camp talking about how your new friend had been working with them from the very beginning. Him trying so hard to convince you that Mide's a traitor does the exact opposite, but after the Illuminati leave, Backrix says that there is some truth to what the goblin said. Backrix had looked into what had happened 3 years ago and found out that a group of Al Ra treasure hunters had gone to explore the ruins near the Thaliac River only to die during the earthquakes that had come as a part of Alexander's first summoning. It's likely that Mide was one of those treasure hunters, but that doesn't necessarily mean that she had something to do with the summoning, except for the fact that Backrix did some reading from a book that he got from a Charlian, and it said that the person who had written the Enigma Codex 100 years ago was a blue-haired Zayla just like Mide. She can't be the only blue-haired Zayla out there, and instead of speculating, Round Rocks runs off to find the woman to get answers straight from her. Wedge chases after the goblin to keep her safe, while the Warrior of Light continues his attack on the Illuminati, so it's back into Alexander we go. The goblins are definitely ready for your next attack, and they've put together a much more deadly defense, but that doesn't stop the Warrior of Light and his crew. When he makes it back to the camp after the battle, Mide is there, and she admits that she did meet up with the Illuminati, but what she gave them was just a rock that she found, not the Codex. But Quick Thinks hadn't been lying about what he said. Mide had not only been working with the Illuminati, she had taught them how to summon the Primal in the first place. She had planned on using them to complete her own goal, the same way she was planning on using all of you. The author of the Enigma Codex had been an ancestor of hers, and the goal of creating a perfect world had been a mission for some of her tribe for years. They had worked in secret to bring it about, and those ideals in some corrupted fashion have taken over the Illuminati. The leader of Mide's group had been very charismatic, and Mide had fallen in love with him, which made her even more eager to make his dream come true. That's why she didn't hesitate when he wanted to summon a Primal, and 3 years ago they had tried to do it. The summoning went horribly wrong. Alexander killed most of Mide's friends and dragged the man she loved into the core of the machine. Not knowing what else to do, Mide made the barrier to seal Alexander away, but while she was doing that, the Codex exploded and the Primal disappeared. One of the pieces cut her across the face, which is how she got that scar, and that moment showed her just how stupid their plan had been. It only took the loss of all of her friends for her to learn that lesson, but it still doesn't explain why she decided to help the Illuminati summon the thing again, or help you all get inside of it for that matter. Her reasons are simple and kind of insane. She did it all because she hopes it will let her see the man she loves again. She thinks his soul is still inside of the Primal. Telling her how dumb her plan was is not the best idea, so Biggs decides to find out just how bad things would get if the Codex was made whole. If the Codex is repaired, it would in fact be able to completely control the Primal, but you need the complete Codex and someone who can read it. With both of those, Alexander could instantly take anyone to wherever they wanted to go, likely draining the life out of the place in the process. Mide used to be able to read the Codex, but since that day 3 years ago, she's lost the ability. Only Round Rocks has the gift as far as she knows, meaning that the child is the key to controlling the Primal. And right on cue, Wedge runs up to say that the little goblin's been taken by the Illuminati. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and be sure to donate so I can keep bringing you guys new content. Until next time, guys. Later.